Welcome to Gen Z Hoops, the Gen Z basketball, coaching, and sports business show. On this podcast, you'll learn from professional players, coaches, and executives from all over the world and see the court in a brand new way. And now, joining you courtside, your Gen Z host, John Hartofilis.
Hey, Chris, what's going on?
How's it going?
Dude, awesome having you on. Really shout out to Chris D'Ambrosio, our Atlantic Division expert, for setting this thing up, because when he had mentioned how he knew some guys on the Harvard men's basketball team, he mentioned your name. I jumped at it because it's such funny. We played against each other in high school. When I say we played, you were playing a whole lot. I really wasn't playing all too much. It was my first ever scrimmage on varsity. I was, and when we talk about a welcome to varsity moment, nothing beats that than watching you. It was one windmill and a fast break. And then the other one was a 360 off the goal. It was off the goal. Actually, I mixed that up. It might have been a 360 normally, and then a windmill. Right to you, it's right. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Something like that.
It was just something that was just another Monday. But super fun thinking about all that stuff, and obviously really fun having you on. To get us started, I'm curious, like, where did your love for the game come from? Did you start playing really young? Did you start a little bit later? Where did all this come from? And going to now, where you've had such a successful career to this point?
So originally, I'm a baseball and football player. I've always played basketball, I guess, but I never played organized basketball until freshman year of high school. That was my first year actually playing organized basketball. I've always loved sports. Like, I come from a big family, so we were always playing sports, just doing everything, messing around. So as I got older, I started playing basketball freshman year, and then I guess it was kind of a little bit new to me, and I was just getting better and better. So starting something new and not being that good at it yet kind of gave me that drive and became something I love to do.
Oh, definitely. And then thinking about just playing all those sports as a kid, obviously there's so much talk about, especially now, a lot of parents are doing early sports specialization where they're having their kid play one sport from when they're 5 all the way through, and they're only playing that sport. And a lot of athletic trainers talk about how detrimental that is, because you're not learning the range of motion from playing football, from playing baseball. You're only doing basketball stuff. So when your body has to do something that's a little awkward, that's when people start getting hurt. That's when guys are able to perform at their best. Did you notice that was what really made you kind of progress faster? That maybe you might have started playing late, but all those other sports you had played kind of really helped you progress through that?
Definitely. So without a doubt, football and baseball made me the basketball player that I am today. Like, just for an example, like baseball would be hand-eye coordination, football would be just the toughness and the strength aspect of basketball. So I feel like all sports kind of play a part in one another, and they did help me become the basketball player that I am.
Awesome. So you had the body, you had all the physical tools. But when you got to St. Peter's, were you playing freshman JV at the beginning? How long did it take you to kind of really show yourself and really start to see that you're getting really, really good to where now you're playing at the next level?
So freshman year, I played on the freshman team. I think I probably could have played up, but sophomore year I played varsity. I don't think it really had to do with St. Peter's, to be honest. So freshman year, I had progressed a lot because, in my opinion, I wasn't that good before freshman year. And then, I would work out with my dad and family members, my uncle, and I started to realize that this is actually something I could be really good at. And then I believe it was the summer after freshman year, I was playing AAU basketball. It was a Staten Island team. We would go to tournaments. We would play up. I began to start playing really well and a lot better than I had previously. So I've always been pretty confident. I pretty much knew freshman year I wanted to do basketball.
Talking about how you realized you were getting better and ready to take the step to the next level. What did the decision look like for you in going to NMH, one of the best prep schools in the country, and really seeing that as an opportunity to really showcase your talents to coaches on a national level?
Yes, the step to NMH was a big part of my journey, honestly. As far as academically and basketball wise, it's a great go-between for college, because most kids could go from a high school in their city and go to college, and it's a whole new deal, whether it's being away from home. There's a bunch of things that going to NMH kind of helped me get ready for it in college, in the college setting. Honestly, of course, New York City basketball has good competition. Staten Island basketball, pretty decent competition, but at the end of the day, it's not the best of the best. So I figured basketball is something I could potentially do for a career, and I want to give myself the best shot at that possible. So I would have to play the best players I'm able to play. And that coupled with the academic rigor that NMH has, it was the perfect spot for me.
So when leaving St. Peter's and going to NMH, you wrote a really heartfelt letter to the St. Peter's community, kind of announcing it. And it was really cool seeing that, like, because it's something like you would see an NBA player do or a pro athlete do. And to see that level of maturity at such a young age, it really stands out. And it's something that obviously we try to focus on here with Gen Z Hoops is we're all young professionals and really mature for our age. So what was it like kind of writing that letter, putting so much into that decision and really making sure that it wasn't just something that you left without saying anything. You made sure to really put a voice behind yourself.
Definitely. It was definitely tough writing the letter. I'm still a high school student. Leaving my friends, people that I've spent the past 3 to 4 years with, was extremely difficult. All the connections that I made while I was there. And my parents, ever since I was young, like, always raised me to be very mature and professional about it. So it was something that's really important to me. In that process, I just had to make sure that I got the message across, and I didn't want to be unprofessional in a way where, like you said, I just left without letting people know. Like, I would never want to do that, because at the end of the day, I'm grateful for the time I spent there, and I'm grateful for, every place that I've been, every person that I've met, like, is a part of my journey and helped me get to where I am today. I would always want to go about things the right way, like you said, like a professional athlete.
Beautifully said. That's exactly the way to do it. And then fast forward a little bit to your time at NMH, obviously setting the single season scoring record, playing really well there, winning the conference championship, and really finding success while you were there, both individual and team success. What did it look like maybe day to day? Because maybe a lot of our listeners don't really know what prep school is like, and we might have touched on a little bit with the lifestyle things. But of course, there's the travel. There's the fact that maybe you don't know someone in high school. You might know someone for 4 years. Now it's maybe a 1 year thing where you're meeting people for the first time, and really trying to win for that goal of a championship. Really acclimate really quickly. What would you say that was like? And then obviously fueling that all that being the context behind your great individual season and the team success.
Okay, so first I'll start with a regular day. NMH it's kind of like structured exactly like how a college schedule would be. It's a little bit more strict because at the end of the day, it is still high school. My day would be, you wake up in the morning, we would have kind of like optional 6 a.m. workouts. And then there's 4 blocks for classes. So you'd probably have 2 morning classes and 2 early afternoon classes, or 2 and 1. So you'd have 2 morning classes, 1 afternoon class. And then that open block that you have would probably be your work job, which is kind of like a job on campus. After that, there would be an evening practice. And then around halfway through the year, like mid-season, we would have practice in the middle of the day, kind of like the lunch period. So you'd have half of the period for lunch, half the period for basketball. So that would be kind of our regular day schedule. On a game day where we did not have like class, we would wake up, have like a team breakfast in the morning, then we would go to walkthrough, like and scout. After that, we would probably have a few hours in between, get lunch, like a pregame meal, and then we would go down to the gym, get everything worked on, and then we would kind of go into like our pregame stuff, getting wrapped, stretching, shoot around, and then it would be the game. So like I said, both schedules kind of like really regimented and college like, and honestly, it really did prepare me for what it's like to be a college athlete.
Of course, and thinking about what that really did for you, and really in playing guys from all over the country, the best teams, the best players, and really when you play well against them, it raises the eyebrows of college coaches. So obviously, when it was coming towards that college decision process, you had a lot of coaches and programs offering you scholarships. The list goes on, but what made you really look at Harvard and say that's where I want to go?
Kind of like when I was picking my prep school to go to, I wanted to go to the best academic institution without sacrificing the basketball side as well. So I wanted to have high academics and high level basketball. And I feel like Harvard is the best place to do that.
Definitely. And then it's not like you said any college, you're at Harvard, right? So it's definitely the mixture of school and basketball must be really difficult, because everyone always talks about how college athletes are working 2 full-time jobs. Some jobs obviously are a little bit more time intensive and difficult than others. How has that been for you in acclimating to that, going from, of course, the really helpful step of having NMH there to show you what it would be like, but still being put into, you're kind of dropped into a fire that a lot of people must, of course, have a tough time acclimating to.
Definitely. So, like I said, NMH kind of made the transition pretty swift, but at the same time, in college, there's a lot more freedom. You have to make sure to stay on your time management and make sure, you're getting things done and you're planning things out accordingly, like based on your schedule. And that's the biggest thing, honestly. I know everyone says it, but it's kind of, it is what it is. Like, time management is what you need to do in order to like succeed at basketball and schoolwork.
For sure. And then with still a few more years left of eligibility at Harvard, there's still so much left for you to do there. I can't wait to see that all unfold. What are you studying now at Harvard? What are you planning to do after you graduate? Does it revolve around your major? Does it still revolve around basketball? Do you have any idea? Everyone our age really is kind of expected to know, and sometimes we don't. I'm curious to know if you have any ideas on where that might take you.
Honestly, the end goal is definitely to play at the highest level. So I plan on making it to the NBA. That's the ultimate goal. Of course, there's steps and obstacles along the way. I just have to stay on the course, and that's the ultimate goal.
I'm excited for that. Maybe NBA draft 2022, 2023, whichever one it is. We'll make sure to do a part 2 beforehand and recap the whole draft process, because I know that'll be even crazier than what you're doing now at school. So can't wait for that. Chris, thank you so much for coming on. It's great to hear that perspective of someone that's gone through something that most people don't go through, whether it's the prep school route, whether it's going to an Ivy League school and balancing out with basketball. So it was really awesome hearing how you've been able to juggle both, and really looking forward to what the next few years look like for you, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for listening to Gen Z Hoops. Make sure to follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, LinkedIn, and all major social media platforms at Gen Z Hoops. You can tune in and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and every other podcast platform on the planet. Get ready for the next episode.